أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا وإمامنا وقائدنا وقدوتنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته everyone. Inshallah you all are well. Inshallah your whole week has been better than what you have expected. We'll go through Hadith number 11, inshallah. As usual, the questions can be given posted in the Q&A, and we'll take around 5 to 7 questions at the end of the lesson, inshallah ta'ala. Hadith number 11. The devilish jinn can inhabit a particular limb. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, واذكر عبدنا أيوب إذ نادى ربه أني مسني الشيطان بنصب وعذاب. And remember our servant Ayub when he called to his Rabb, indeed the devil has touched me with hardship and torment. So here in this verse Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has affirmed the word massani shaytan. Massani, I touched me, can be in terms of looking at the reality, can be manifested to mean a touch, which is just a simple touch, which in Arabic is called hawa, or in Bengali it's called batash. So basically, you feel that the devil has touched that area. The area can become black, can become dark, can become numb, can twitch, and so on. So mass, that's the minimum of mass. That's the minimum of mass, which is a touch of the devil. And the baby obviously gets poked. That's part of the touch. And the baby cries. We all got that, except Isa was protected and his mother. Other than that, everyone got touched. So that touch minimum is the poke, and then the second minimum is the touch that the shaitan can touch physically and can numb a limb or can make the limb twitch. And the maximum is the possession, either full possession, where the person becomes unconscious. They don't know what they're saying, they don't know what they're doing. This is the maximum touch that the devil can do. In this verse, regarding Ayyub al-Islam, the touch was more of evil eye from the devil. More was evil eye of the devil. The devil gave Ayyub some evil eye, so much so that Ayyub was ill, and you could say bedbound. The only thing that was able to move and he was able to have control of was his heart and his tongue. The rest of his body was so he did not have power to move them. Yeah. So it was more of the evil eye touch, and then it was a physical touch where the shaitan touched, by which the limbs were unable to move. But shaitan did not possess the limbs. Shaitan did not possess the limbs. It was just a touch by which the limbs fell ill and they were unable to move. Ayyub al-Islam was unable to move them by his will. Obviously, he was cured by the verse of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He wanted Ayyub al-Islam to usually strike with your heel or with your leg, and what happened was water gushed out, and with that water Ayyub al-Islam went to the ghusl and drank from the touch of the devil. As for the hadith, إذا استيقظ أحدكم من منامه فليستم 3 مرات فإن الشيطان يبيت على خياشيمه. When you wake up from sleep, let yourselves cleanse your nose 3 times. Cleanse your nostrils 3 times. Why? فإن الشيطان يبيت على خياشيمه. For verily, the shaitan sleeps the interior parts of the nostrils. So khayashim is this part. This hadith is in Muslim. Benefit from this hadith: number one, the devil sleeps in the nostrils. Many scholars understood this point literally. So some scholars interpret this to mean as the dirt of the nose, not necessarily the actual shaitan. But the vast majority of the scholars, they interpret this hadith literally, i.e., that shaitan literally sleeps within our nostrils. And the way to get that shaitan out is for us to make wudu and then clean our nose 3 times, or simply clean our nose 3 times if we do not make wudu. And by cleaning our nose 3 times, your stance is to sniff in nose and then push out the water as hard as possible from the nose. And that's the way to cleanse the shaitan from the nose. Number two, consistent cleanliness and purification removes the comfort zones of the devils and the jinn. So Islam is saying here, whenever you sleep, this is what happens. So whenever you wake up, this is what you do. So when you keep doing this, whenever he sleeps, the devil finds it clean again. So he has to make his bed again. So you keep making the devil work hard, and you keep doing it, cleaning your nose, which eventually, and if you do it regularly, you see slowly, there's less and less dirt in the nose when you wake up. Number three, water constantly touching and striking the devils plays a vital part in removing them, even killing them. So water is something that's blessed, it's pure, it's refreshing, it quenches the thirst, it does the purification, but it also cures. It has the remnants of cure. From Zamzam water to any pure water. And that's why the Ruqya, the people who Ruqya, they use water because all of this hadith talk about removing the sihr and removing the shaitan with water. So, for example, the hadith I took before, when you do wudu, what happens? When you wake up, and then when you woke up, a knot breaks. If you mention the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So dhikr, ruqya is done for dhikr and dua. When you wudu, as water, and it's a ibadah. So wudu breaks the sihr. The water recited upon breaks the sihr. So this is all for many different ahadith. The fuqaha and the jurists and the ruqya experts have gathered that when water in of itself can kill the devil and can be a means to cure. Hadith number 12. Messenger used to seek refuge from the devil's hands. In brackets we put Hamz's possession or food possession. Verse, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وإما ينزغنك من الشيطان نزغ فاستعذ بالله إنه هو السميع العليم. And if there comes to you from the devil an evil suggestion, then seek refuge with Allah. Indeed, He is the hearing. So here, nazg is the minimum of possession because it has penetrated the physical realm of you and has come to your chest. So that's the minimum possession. The verse is talking about. That's why Allah is saying that even when Shaytan puts a thought in your heart or in your mind, and seek refuge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's a minimum possession that Shaitan has done now. Has possessed your heart or possessed your mind with the thought. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, يجب بن مسعود رضي الله عنه قال اللهم إني أعوذ بك من الشيطان الرجيم وحمزه ونفخه ونفثه قال همزه الموتة ونفثه الشعر والنفخ والكبر. Messenger sallallahu is to say, O Allah, I take refuge with you against the accursed devil from his Hamz, seizure of possession, his pride and his poetry. Quoted in Ahmad ibn Majah, the Hadith is Sahih. جاء في الحديث أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فسر همزة. In a hadith, it was explained what Hamz is. بأنها موتة الصلاة ما يحصل من صاعد الناس من الشيطان. So Hassan explained what Hamz is. He explained by saying Hamz is a type of shiza, of possession caused by the devil. So Hassan explained Hamz himself. ونفخه الكبر ويقع في نفوس الناس من الكبر وهو من الشيطان. As for his nafh. So again here he possesses by giving the kibr. So you find some people are very arrogant, very stubborn. That's Shaytan possessing them with his kibr, with his pride. And his share. As for share, Shaytan possessing the person with beautiful words to deceive people, beautiful lines and statements to deceive people. Yeah. So you find some people are very articulate with the words, but they are deceiving people. Most of the people, sadly, who are leading, who are in position of authority, you find them, they're very articulate with the words. They possess people with the words. That's actually Shaytan possessing them with the words, the people. So Islam is to seek refuge from all of these. For us, the most important word is the word Hamz. In another narration, كان الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا دخل بالصلاة يقول أي دعاء الاستفتاح. Rasul is to enter into Salah, he is to say this. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم من نفخه ونفخه. He is to say this when he is to enter into Salah. So there's two narrations. One is in particular is saying about Salah, one is general. So you can say any time to protect yourself from the Shaytan. And obviously you can add the other hadith regarding blowing into your hands and wiping your own body. So for example, if you feel the kibr is coming in, if you feel the Shaytan's is coming in, you say this dua, أعوذ بالله من نفخه ونفثه وهمزه, and keep repeating it. Blow into your hands and wipe your whole body. Do the same cycle again and again until you feel the Shaytan is burning away or is leaving. Memorize this isti'adha. It's very short. أعوذ بالله وأعوذ بك من الشيطان الرجيم وهمزه ونفخه ونفثه. Points of benefit. Even though reality affirms different levels of jinn possession, the hadith particularly affirms the full possession by the devils. Why? Because in the explanation it came as muta or salah. So Sallallahu explained this mota, meaning as if you're dead, as if you're dead. Salah, which means seizure, so when you're fully possessed. So here this hadith in particular is speaking about a person being fully possessed with Shaytan, fully possesses the person. Number two, this hadith explicitly affirms different categories and types of infliction by the Shaytan. So it can fully possess, it can give negative energy within a person, right? It can possess people through other people. So it can possess through words to other people, manipulate them through these words and deceive them. This is all from Shaytan. The human being is not the source of it. The human being may think he's very articulate, or you know what, it was today's speech was wow, and you find this example that the speechwriter writes a speech, but when he's on the podium, he, he loses his script and he speaks from his head, from his heart, and he doesn't even know sometimes why he was saying or what she was saying. And it was mesmerizing. It was wow. It was wowed by the crowd. You know, was it him? No, it was the devil. It was the devil that came and possessed the mind and the tongue and uttered these mesmerizing words to mesmerize people. It can also happen by the angels. So you can find, for example, sometimes the khatib is giving the khutbah, and sometimes doesn't even look at his lecture notes. He's just giving the khutbah, and he doesn't even know where these words are coming from. So these words are coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through an angel. The angel comes and puts these words on the tongue of the person, places these words upon the tongue of the person. Number three, this dua for refuge is for prevention and protection. So this is for prevention and protection. And it's also for cure. If you're inflicted, you keep saying it, keep saying it, keep repeating it. The intention of burning away whatever that's negative that's bothering you. And also for curing yourself. Number four, principle. Every dua and dhikr, which is for prevention and protection, can be utilized for cure and relief. So every dua and dhikr, or every means, which the Wahis gave as a prevention and as a protection, they themselves can be utilized as a means of cure and relief, as a means of burning away the negative energy. Okay? So, for example, here, Sallallahu was not possessed by any of these three, but he sought refuge from them, sought protection from them. So, if someone is possessed by any of these three, then he says these words in order to prevent and protect, and most importantly, because he or she is inflicted, for him or her to be cured and relieved from these three afflictions. Number five, patients ought to repeat the du'as and adhkar of refuge upon themselves. So if one's inflicted, then they keep repeating, until they're exhausted, then they blow into their hands, wipe their whole body, or they blow into the water and oil and utilize the water and the oil accordingly. Water for ghusl and drinking, washing, and the oil applying in a particular limb or the whole body. Number six, the Raqi ought to repeat the du'as and adhkar of refuge upon the patient. So the Raqi, he or she, they repeat upon the patient this dua. I seek refuge with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala against the devil from his hands, from his mouth, from his nafs. Yeah. And then the Rahi can blow after he is exhausted. He can blow upon the patient, or he can blow into the hands of the patient and ask the patient to wipe the whole body. And then the cycle continues. Hadith number 13. The devils are merciless, they even possess children. Verse أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وإما ينزغنك من الشيطان نزغ فاستعذ بالله إنه سميع عليم إن الذين اتقوا إذا مسهم طائف من الشيطان تذكروا فإذا هم مبصرون. And if an evil suggestion comes to you from the devil, then seek refuge with Allah, in His hearing and knowing. Indeed, those who fear Allah, when an impulse touches them from the devil, they run by him, and at once they have insight. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about when a group of the devil, they touch, again the word touch, the word touch is there. Minimum, as we said, is a whisper of thought that comes, or a touch, physical touch, numbs the limb, or makes the limb twitch and so on, or makes the limb, that's the minimum. The maximum is full possession. طائف من الشيطان تذكروا, a group of طائف من الشيطان, a group. So here we have the evidence that they can be not one, they can be many. Touch who? In the taqaw, those who have fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So believers, in other words Muslims, include Muslim families, Muslim children, elderly and all are included in that verse. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives a cure, gives a solution. He says, تَذَكَّرُوا فَإِذَا هُمْ مُبْصِرُونَ. When they remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when they remember Him and take the internal and external means as He has legislated, then they will have insight to the cure, insight to the relief, insight to the path of the relief. As for the hadith, عن يعلى ابن مرة عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه أتته امرأة من ابن لها قد أصابه لمم قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم اخرج عدو الله أنا رسول الله قال فبرأ فأهدت له كبشين وشيئا من أقط وسمن فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يا يعلى خذ الأقط والسمن خذ أحد الكبشين ورد عليها الآخر. يعلى ابن مرة in the waist of the Prophet, to him came a woman with a son. أصابه لمم. Lemon is a type of full possession. Type of full possession where it comes and goes. So the jinn comes and goes. So it's not there 24 hours a day. It's not fully seized at 24 hours a day. So it's not bed bound.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I think Ustad's connection isn't too great. Just give it a few minutes. Just give it about 2 to 3 minutes, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair.
So we started out the hadith and I was explaining lemam. Lemam is the possession that is a full possession, but it comes and goes. It comes at a specific time, for example, full, and then it leaves the affected person for a while, and it comes again full. So it's not something that is possession that's hidden away in the heart or in the mind or in the stomach. It exposes itself throughout the day. Yeah, that's called lemon. So when Sallallahu said "Ukhruj adu Allah," that's a clear, explicit statement by Sallallahu, which means get out, O enemy of Allah. That means that the jinn was inside, the devil was inside the child. So this hadith is a clear evidence, explicit evidence that the devils can possess human beings. Not only that, that devils also can possess children. And also, Sallallahu when he said that, that's part of Ruqya, so the Raqis ought to say the same thing. Ukhruj adu Allah, ukhruj ya adu Allah. Get out, exit, O enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is other narration. Just some touched his chest and he said this, and so tapped his chest and he said this. So all of this can be done, which is all part of Ruqya. So once Hassan said this, the narrator, Ya'la ibn Murrah, is saying he was cured. The boy was cured. What was the sign the boy was cured? And he became calm. So that means what he was screaming, shouting. So the woman was so happy. She gave, the mother was happy that boy was cured. That means that what the boy was possessed for maybe a couple of days or a couple of weeks. Yeah. So she gifted Sallallahu 2 sheep and some other food items like cheese and so. Sallallahu kept the cheese and one of the sheep and returned one of the other sheep back to her. So here you get the evidence that the Raqi can take wages. The one who cures people, or as a Raqi or as a doctor, they can take wages. Points of benefit. The child will cry continuously from evening to morning, hardly ate or drank anything, all because of the possession by a devil. Devils are merciless and even possess young children. Obviously, the first benefit I took from different narrations of this hadith. Devils are merciless and even possess young children. Number 2. Devils may, of their own will and choice, possess a human. Sihr or evil eye is not necessary for jinn-possession. So it doesn't have to be a sihr or evil eye for the jinn to possess. Jinn, he or she can come and possess by their own will. Devils may live simply through dua, which makes them fear Allah and His punishment, or even witness the angels of wrath. So here Sallallahu commanded the devil to leave, and in another way it was a dua to Allah to make the devil leave. So it was a commandment for the devil to leave, and indirectly it was dua to Allah for Allah to make the devil leave. Number 5. Devils may leave when commanded to leave, as their only no experience with other devils is that of a master and slave. So the devils, their hierarchy is just by master and slave. And Iblis, and the notion of the Iblis upon the water and the throne, and the way people get close to him, it shows the hierarchy and master and slave relationship. So when a Raqi commands the Shaytan to leave, like somebody here, he obeyed Prophet Sallallahu, and obviously he feared Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he feared the angels who were around Prophet Sallallahu, and he left. They also possess low intellect and poor thought process. So if a particular devil is scared and perceives it as an actual command from a master-like character of a person, it may obey him and leave due to those reasons. Just like a human fears another human of authority and power, and if that human commands that human not to do something, or to do something, he may do it out of fear of that human. Just like that, the devil, they fear human beings, and if he sees in front of him a human being with that attitudes and character, then he may simply leave simply due to that fear of that human being. It may obey him and leave due to those reasons. For them, it can be a simple process of thought as a master category creation who is higher in rank than myself, commanding me to leave from this creation, so I must obey him as I am within the slave category, you must obey your master. Yeah. So this can happen between Iraqi and the slave. Simply when he says get out, or enemy of Allah, he may simply leave because of that slave and master uh, belief and mindset. Number 6, devils may leave simply out of fear of a noble person due to the angels that surround and accompany him, or simply due to sheer fear of Allah, sheer fear Allah places in the devil's soul. So it could be also because of the angels around the pious person, or the fear that Allah puts in the devil's heart. Just like when you be around the pious people, and if they command you, or if they ask you something, or if you be around and feel shy, you feel uh, respectful towards them and so on. Number 7, Raqi tries to cure people a single time or on a part-time or a full-time basis may take a payment for it is a contract or a gift. So if it's a contract, so he or she may agree with the patient or patient's family how much he or she ought to take. If there is no contract, the patient gives, there's understanding, there's no specific amount and the patient gives, then that is seen as a gift, not a wage. But if it's a contract, mutual understanding of contract and a specific amount is agreed on, then that is seen as a wage or income. So here, she gifted Sallallahu Sallam accepted the gift and returned some of the gift. One of the sheep was returned. Hadith number 14. The power of Tawheed and refuge with Allah is overwhelming. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in one of the verse, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن عبادي ليس لك عليهم سلطان إلا من اتبعك من غاوين. Indeed, my servants or my worshippers, no authority will you have over them, except those who follow you of the deviators. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is affirming two matters. One is Shaytan will have power over people, but those people, they themselves are wrongdoers, or they have an inclination towards evil and sins and so on. But the Shaytan will not have power ultimately over people who are worshippers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And thereby, just worship in of itself, pure tawheed and worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can break every evil life, can break every sihr, can break and burn every devil. عن عثمان بن أبي العاص قال لما استعملني رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم على الطائف جعل يعرض لي شيء في صلاتي حتى ما أدري ما أصلي. لما رأيت ذلك رحلت إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم رحلت إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. قال ابن أبي العباس قلت نعم يا رسول الله. قال ما جاء بك. قلت يا رسول الله عرض لي شيء في صلاتي حتى ما أدري ما أصلي. قال ذاك شيطان أذنه. فدنوت منه فجلست على صدور قدمي. قال فضرب صدري بيده وتفل في فمي وقال اخرج عدو الله. فعل ذلك 3 مرات ثم قال الحق بعملك ثم قال الحق بعملك. فقال عثمان فلعمري ما أحسبه خالطني بعد. Hadith Uthman ibn al-As, Sahabi, he's saying that Rasulullah appointed me to lead Salah of, as a governor of Taif. So he appointed me as a governor of Taif and to lead people in Salah. جعل يعد لي شيء في صلاتي. Something used to bother me in my Salah so much so that I used to forget how many rak'at I prayed. This shows that he was a Sahabi he was praying salah, he was leading the salah, he was fulfilling all of his duties. But all of his duties was not being bothered. What was bothered was his salah, and so much so that even if he tried to remember how many rakat he was praying, he was unable to remember. This shows partial possession. Here in this hadith is the evidence of partial possession. It's not a full possession. It's a possession partially in a particular matter. Particular matter is salah. So, for example, particular matter could be husband-wife matters. So it's a particular matter, salah, and it was partial possession, meaning just in salah it would affect him for that period of time, so much so that he wouldn't know how many rakat he was praying. Not only how many rakat he wouldn't know, he would also know like what he was saying. So he was to be in a confused state in salah. So he came to Sallallahu and then he explained what was happening to Sallallahu.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, unfortunately, we're going to have to postpone the class until next week, Monday now, due to the power cut and network issues. Please do remember our Ustad Shaykh Abu Ubaid in your du'as, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all